Hi, good afternoon. This is Patrick recording for my week 6 article assignment. The article that I chose was Franchising in the Family Firm, Creating Unique Sources of Advantage Through Familyness. Um, the article begins by describing the historical theoretical view of the franchisor and the franchisee, so the person that's licensing out the franchise and the individual that is actually going to be running that business. Um, and they use what's called agency theory to describe that interaction. Um, and in those studies, they look at sort of the conflicts between these two groups, and they say that the franchisee is always going to have an inherent desire um, to do things more independently, to do things that benefit really themselves, and they may not necessarily benefit the franchise as a whole. They'll often do things like not pay their royalties on time, or they use an example of moving around some building regulations in order to open up their own store, and sort of take advantage of the expenses that would typically be involved in a franchisee. And so that's a lot of the historical perspective. But the authors in this article say, it's more than just conflict. There are some units and groups that do really well. There's actually a lot of franchises that do well. So what's going on here? What's making that work well? And so they propose this idea called familyness, and they're saying that these franchisees, so the individuals that are running this business on the day-to-day, they're often propped up and built by family units. So it's a group of really strongly connected people that are running the store. Um, and that gives a different managerial dynamic, and a different group of bonds and strengths that are really beneficial to the franchisee, or I'm sorry, the individuals licensing the franchise. Because the family units that run these stores actually have their goals are a lot more in line with the franchise. They're wanting to benefit the store, to benefit themselves, and they aren't quite as independent and not as willing to be opportunistic about the franchise. Um, so they'll engage in behaviors that are a lot more congruent with the franchisee as a whole because they want to evolve together. That's really the basis of the article. Thank you so much for listening.